You know that feeling when you look at your to-do list and it's just a source of stress, a constant reminder of everything you haven't gotten done? Well, we're going to change that. Today, we're talking about how to turn that list into a source of control, a precise roadmap for your day. Let's dive in. Oh man, we've all been there, right? You block out, say, 30 minutes for what seems like a simple, easy task, and then you look up, and somehow 3 hours have just vanished into thin air. It's so frustrating. It completely throws your whole schedule off and makes you feel like you just can't get a handle on your time. But here's the thing. The problem isn't that you're lazy or undisciplined. It's actually a well-known glitch in our thinking called the planning fallacy. It's this natural, super optimistic tendency we all have to underestimate how long something will actually take. We all fall into this estimation trap, basically choosing wishful thinking over a realistic plan. So let's shift our focus. Instead of beating ourselves up over our plans, let's get better at making our predictions. You see, accurate time estimation isn't some kind of superpower. It's a skill. And just like any other skill, you can learn it. You just need the right tools. Today, we're going to explore 3 of them. All right, let's open up our new scheduling toolkit. The very first tool we're pulling out is what I like to call the 3-point rule. Think of this as getting a full 360-degree view of a task before you even start. So the core idea here is simple, but honestly, it's a game changer. Instead of just making one wild guess about how long something will take, you create a range of possibilities. This kind of snaps you out of that initial optimistic bias and forces you to think about how a task might actually play out, not just how you hope it will. Let's break this down. First, you have the optimistic estimate. This is your best case scenario. You know, the sun is shining, the coffee is perfect, no one interrupts you. Then you have the pessimistic. This is the worst case, the Murphy's Law version, where everything that can go wrong does. And right there in the middle, you have the most likely estimate. This one is grounded in reality and accounts for all those little common delays we usually forget to plan for. And this is where the magic happens. That space between your best case and your worst case estimates, that's not wasted time. It becomes your smart buffer. You're not just crossing your fingers and hoping for the best anymore. You're actively planning for reality and building that flexibility right into your schedule. Now, let's grab another tool from our kit. If the 3-point rule helps you see the big picture, the breakdown method is like a precision scalpel. It's all about dissecting those huge, overwhelming tasks into smaller, way more manageable pieces. And then you can apply that 3-point rule to each little piece. Just look at this example. Write an essay. That feels huge, doesn't it? It's kind of hard to wrap your head around. But what happens when you break it down into outline, then draft, and then review? Suddenly it feels concrete, doable. It is so much easier and way more accurate to estimate how long it takes to create an outline than it is to guess the time for the entire essay all at once. And you know, there's a really good psychological reason why this works so well. Our brains are simply better wired to process smaller, more clearly defined actions. When you break things down, you reduce that feeling of being overwhelmed, which in turn boosts your motivation, and, you guessed it, leads to much more accurate time estimates. Okay, on to our final tool, the comparison key. Think of this one as your personal compass. It's all about using the map of your own past experiences to guide your future plans, especially for those repetitive tasks you do over and over again. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. You have to compare apples to apples. Thinking about how long it took to answer 10 work emails last week, that's useful. But comparing that to, say, reading a super dense textbook, not so much. The complexity, the focus you need, even your level of interest are completely different, which makes it a really bad comparison. So before you just trust your memory, run through this quick reality check. Ask yourself, are these 2 tasks really alike? Is the scope the same? Is the complexity even close? Look, you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time, but you do have to make sure you're looking at the right wheel. So let's put this all together. When you start combining these tools, you begin to move away from stressful guessing and into the world of confident, precise planning. You now have a system for building a schedule that actually works for you, not against you. You've got the 3-point rule to see the whole range of possibilities. You have the breakdown method to make those giant tasks feel small. And you have the comparison key to learn from your own history. That's it. That's your complete toolkit. And hey, remember, like any powerful skill, this takes practice. Your first few tries might not be perfect, and that's totally okay. Just stick with it. The more you use these tools, the sharper your estimation skills will become, and the more control you'll feel over your own time. So I want to leave you with this final thought. What if your schedule wasn't a cage that restricted you? What if, instead, it was a roadmap that guided you directly and efficiently toward everything that matters most to you? With these techniques, that's exactly what it can become.